Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Sister Ide.
Thank you for agreeing to take this interview. I'm very grateful. And I admire your establishment.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so for the purpose of this interview, I am hoping that we'll just stay about 20 minutes.
Okay.
And the questions, I'll just ask you questions basically on the topic that I'm handling. And I'm dealing with strategies for employee retention in small and medium scale industries. I understand that you have scaled recently, but at least I think to an extent your organization still fits into what I'm trying to do.
Very well.
Yes. So I'd like to start like this, just to be sure, and for the purposes of our recording. Okay. If you are uncomfortable at any point to answer any question, please just feel free. And then anything that you feel uncomfortable with, just let me know. I'll understand totally. But this is purposely for a research work, and your information will not be published outside, right, for now. And meanwhile, I'm not even, except you give the permission anyways. Yeah, so my first question, I'd like to know how long your business has been in existence.
Yeah. We've been in existence for about 16 years. Like I tried to explain, we started quite small, like 16 years ago, but at the time we had to limit the company. So we started as a business named KRISSMANDY Ventures. And after a few years, we couldn't deal with some companies that wanted limited liability, so we had to push up to become a limited liability. So basically 16 years.
Since inception.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I would like to know, like in total, how many staff do you have in KRISSMANDY? And I'm sure you have like qualified experience and then unskilled workers maybe. So my assignment is just basically on those who are qualified or those who are skilled or experienced. So do you mind sharing how long or how many you have first, and then how long the longest serving staff has stayed with you?
Yeah, because of the kind of business I run, it's a distribution business. Like you rightly captured it, we have all categories of staff. You have the very experienced, you have the experience, we have just the ones that handlers, kind of. Yeah. To the glory of God, it's a Christian business. So I would say that I've had my longest serving staff should be about 14 to 15 years with me.
Wow.
And that's my accountant. And then I think Chibo should be getting to 12 years with us. And then my manager, it's about 9 to 10 years. Then others. Those are the ones that are qualified. I would say qualified staff that stay that long. And I think they are the longest anyway, qualified or not qualified. Okay. They are the longest serving staff that I have so far. So in total, I would say we have about 30 direct staff and about 38 in total, workers that are attached to us, all inclusive. I mean, like some companies have their products with us, so they give us personnel attached to us. That's why I'm counting up to 38. But KRISSMANDY staff, like the ones that would attach to us directly, about 30, 31 of us, including myself.
Of course, you are the CEO. Okay, so your accountant is 14 years. The other person is...
he's a rep. He's a field sales rep.
Your sales rep is how...
Chibo should be about 12 years with us. About thereabouts. I don't have the figures correctly, but about that.
Yes, and the other one is
About 9. I have 9.
that one. What
That's
position is she? Oh, you see, or she?
Cheche is my manager.
Okay, manager is 9 years. So I'll just
Chizoba is my accountant.
okay. I'll just take an average of the 3 years and just come up with an average number of years that your longest staff has served. Thank you very much. Are you done? You really, you've kept them all. You have really kept them. So my next question, I just want to know what strategy, what do you think you use as a tool? Do you have any system? Is there anything that these people see that that is making them stay with you? You know, or at least for the one that has stayed for 14 years, I'm wondering.
Yeah. Chizoba has stayed. Would I say strategy? Would I say how it happened? You know, when she came along, I saw that she's someone she's very intelligent. Then she had her work. Then that was a long time. She had her work, and she's very smart and honest. So what I decided to do with her was to push her along to go back to school, and that is like one strategy I will tell you that has worked for me.
That's training.
Training.
Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. So does this cut across all of them? Or
yeah, it does somehow, but I don't really force it. I don't force the training. I try to talk you into it.
Okay.
If I see that you have that ability, and I see that you have the passion, I talk you into it. Aside that, I know it will benefit my business, it will also benefit you. And along the line, someone that has touched your life in that area, you wouldn't want to just exit or leave the person that way. I might have to answer a question that is coming again with this one. It hasn't been like 100% sure that after training they will stay, because I know I've had a staff that after training him, he had to leave. Yeah, he left.
He saw a greener pasture, or?
Yeah, that time you would say it's a greener pasture because we are still smaller. The company he joined was a bigger company than us. You know, after his training, I think that was his youth service. He now said he wanted to join some other company that was bigger than us, and it was okay. He had to go. But for me, training a staff benefits me and it benefits the person, especially when they are in the position where they are happy to function. Happy to function in the sense that Chizoba is a very calculative person. She likes the figures. She just loves figures.
So she loves her job.
She does love her job.
Okay.
She does love her job. She loves the figures. At the time she was doing sales, she's okay with sales, but I found out that she is better off with her figures. So I had to move her from sales to the accounting department. That was when we had a what do we call it now? We now moved on to become a limited liability.
Okay, you scaled the business up.
That was when we scaled, because like I told you, when we were just a business name, we were handling smaller projects. But when we limited, we had bigger companies that we needed to interact with. So that was when I moved her to the accounting section.
Okay.
And when she got there, she did so well, even with her low qualification as at that time, more than the people that were qualified accountants. So she loves the job, she likes her job, and she also wanted to go to school. She wanted to be trained. So that has kept us going. And after her training, she's also someone that likes to lead.
So I wanted to know, was she doing part-time training and part-time work?
Oh, sure, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was.
So that's why it was benefiting practicing what she was learning
from
school.
Sure. She ran a program. We had a program for her for Saturdays and Sundays. Yes. So she wasn't coming to work Saturdays. Every other Saturday she wouldn't come to work. So some other people, fit into her place to cover the gap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I can see here is that basically training
Yeah.
is something for you.
Training and training in the position where you are happy to function.
Okay. Training in the position. The staff is happy to function. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. And that's about Chizoba. And then, like I said, she's someone that likes to lead.
Okay.
She has this leadership
potential.
So I identified it, let me say, early. So I gave her that platform to also function
As a leader
in the company. Yes, I gave her that function. I just made other people in our department to know that, look, if she approves it, you don't get back to me for anything. Sometimes when I see that, decisions and stuff, I would just come in. But she liked that. She just loved it. That was going to be a little bit of issues with my manager when my manager later joined us. Because I saw that she couldn't just take all of that position as just the company head and all of that. But we were able to resolve it. She had to be in her own place as the admin accountant. Then the manager operates as the manager for the whole company, the entire company. So the role was all spelled out and she was comfortable.
Okay, so what I've written here is identifying employees' potential and feeding it.
Yeah, sure, that's what it is.
All right. Thank you. So 2 things I've seen here: training, and then encouraging the employee in the areas that they are strong, identifying their potentials and feeding it. Is there any other thing you want to share on that strategy? Or we can move on to the next next question because of our time. What strategies, any strategy you implemented that wasn't successful?
Yeah, there were strategies I implemented that weren't successful. That was when I cut the company. The company is already in departments because we have our account section, we have our logistics, we have our sales, and then we have our, I think there are 4, the other one, warehouse.
Okay.
Have our warehousing.
Sorry, please, can you come again with that?
The accounts admin.
Okay.
Then we have the logistics, those are the delivery people.
Okay.
And then we have the sales representatives.
Okay.
And then we have the warehousing.
Okay, the warehousing. Okay, so you were answering which strategy wasn't successful.
Yeah. Before I made this department very, very visible, I tried one strategy like everybody has to have a name. It's either you're a manager or you're a supervisor. Those kind of how do I call those? Is it leadership or is it
like giving people assigning roles to them? Is it role or
it's not really a role but a name.
Okay.
When you say someone is a supervisor, the person now feels okay. I have this responsibility.
Okay.
Responsibility. Like everybody in the company at the time had one thing. This is a manager. This is a supervisor, and all of that. I thought that that would make people want to stay and do their job and be happy. Like you say, okay, what are you doing in the company? I'm the sales supervisor. I'm the this and all of that. But it didn't work. It didn't work in the sense that they had a lot of clash. They had a lot of clash. The supervisors in the warehouse were not clashing with supervisors in the sales department. So they were just clashing. This one say, I'm a supervisor and you're a supervisor. So what's the difference? In terms of their carrying out their duties. Let's say there's a warehouse manager, then the other ones are warehouse supervisors.
Okay.
Then there's accountants, then we have other assistants, a supervisor. So when the supervisor and the supervisor comes to the same table, maybe they want to resolve something. The hierarchy is not hierarchy. There's a tussle.
Like in whose own will be taken.
Yes.
Okay. Because they have the same
same title,
the same tag name.
They have tag names. They have the same tag name. So the what actually worked was now to separate the departments.
Okay, so you face your own department.
Yes.
And be answerable to your manager.
Yes.
Make your decisions.
There.
And then report to there's an overall
That's the manager.
manager.
There's an overall manager. That is
Okay.
Cheche. That's the guy I told you that has been with me for about 9 years or thereabout.
Okay.
So all departments now take it all up to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I've captured here is that attaching names to responsibilities initially didn't work until you grouped.
Yeah. Group the departments and they made them function in departments.
Okay, until departments were
Made visible and then function there.
grouped and allowed to function as a team. So the departments are now answerable to one manager.
Sure.
Okay.
And another strategy that didn't also work
Okay.
was to say the supervisor in the department has to be the person that came in earlier than the others. Let's say I employed a warehouse manager today, and tomorrow I get someone else. Then the warehouse manager that came today has to be the manager, the person that came today.
Okay, by the length of time you have
Yes,
stayed.
you have stayed, should not equal to your position in that department.
Okay. The length of time a staff has stayed.
They are spent in the company.
Okay. Okay, before, maybe initially determined.
Yeah, initially determined who is superior.
Superior. Superior. So that didn't work. So. Okay.
No, it didn't work.
Because you may choose to employ somebody who is more qualified.
Yes.
And you want that person to.
Yeah, who is more qualified and who also has a passion in that field. Yeah, who has a passion in that field. No, people come in for different, they take jobs for different reasons. They just want the money, they just want to be at work and stuff like that. So people come in and you find that this is just where they fit in. And you had already put someone in a position to boss them. And in fact the boss is not doesn't have all of that potential. So the other one you have is you can't assess it. You can't assess the other person's
because it
potential.
has a leader that is not encouraging them to grow.
Yeah, it doesn't have that capacity.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have the capacity. That happened to me. I think was logistics. Was in my logistics department. The guy came in. He was the first driver we had, the delivery guy. So when others started coming, I said, okay, you are here first, so you take care of your people. And I found out that it didn't work. It didn't just work until I said, okay, now we have to reshuffle and all of that. And I think we're almost getting there.
Wow. Okay, thank you very much for that. It's almost like answering one of the questions that I have, and that question is in what ways you think that job description of your employee will help in retaining them. So what you're saying that this one didn't work. It didn't work. Okay. So it's more like, so you have a system of appraising them. Okay, so would you say that system of appraisal helps to maybe encourage them?
Yeah, the system of appraisal helps to encourage them. It also helps me to have an insight, to have an understanding of who the employer is, their capacity, and all of that. That was what they appraise, because they appraise themselves. They appraise themselves, the accounts, we appraise the warehouse appraise the accounts. That's how we do it. So when we now get together in a meeting, we'll be able to say, okay, this is what has happened within this quarter. and this is where we need to go from here. So if we keep getting one negative report on someone, then we have to make adjustments.
Yeah. I think that's very profound to know. You know. So how did you know that your strategy? How did you ascertain that? Okay, this is my training strategy, or this is my identifying their potentials, that it was working. How did you know?
How would I say I know? Because they are stayed back, I know. And then again, when sometimes you now hear that maybe from someone they had maybe somebody, you just hear that, okay, Shizoba went for an interview, she applied for something, you may just hear it in a note, they won't come to tell you. And she's not like, no, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. Even a staff comes, because we are more like family, and I tell them, if you see something better, you must not be stuck with me. Because by the time you go to the better place, I know you will remember me. So sometimes we discuss like the girl that moved, she got another job, and it's a sales job. You know, she wants to be in the accounting department. That's what she likes to do. So that's how you know that, okay, really, I fit in this one in where she wants to be. So she doesn't want to go to a company maybe where they are paying her the higher, and then becomes a cleaner or becomes some other position.
She wants to do what she loves.
She likes what she's doing, and she just wants to do it outside maybe the better offer out there. You know, so that's how I know that it works. And that's
so
just
what I've written is that when they have, or rather when the staff has better offers, they don't want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Better offers in another field. Let me say another. What did I say? Department.
Another company now.
Company, but another of their own field. Like the warehouse guy wouldn't want to go to a company where he's now going to be the accountant.
Yeah, okay, so what that tells me is that they love their jobs. They love where they are. Like you've managed to put every person in their area of strength.
Sure. Area of strength, that's the word I've been looking for. Area of strength.
Okay.
Because I've had a staff that was in the warehouse, and he kept telling me, I want to be in sales.
Okay.
I want to be in sales. I want to be. He kept on saying it, and you see that he wasn't really doing well in the warehouse. You say anytime there's opportunity for a sales rep, move me there. That's where I want to be.
Okay. Okay, that's awesome. That's powerful. So, in what ways do you think that that their level of autonomy? There was something we were talking about earlier, where you say you have decided to sectionalize the organization, but before the sectionalizing, you gave them tag names. So, but now it's like you have a leader for each department. So do you think that giving them autonomy, as in you people do your own thing, then report to the leader, do you think that has helped in making that such that they are able to make decisions by themselves? Do they always need to come back to you?
No, they don't always come back to me. In fact, they hardly come back to me. If it gets back to me, that means it has gone through levels.
Okay.
Doesn't always get back to me, because by the grace of God, the ones that are leading have identified that they like what they are doing. At least for now. So, and I encourage them with the democratic leadership. You just have to hear what your departmental people are complaining about, or whatever it is, and then you take decision. Though you don't take the final decision. For instance, one of the logistic guy wants to travel. You have to tell your boss, your manager, that you want to travel. And then he looks at it and sees that, okay, we want to go to a burial or something, okay, you're good to go, you can travel. But he can't give you that permission to travel. Okay. So what he will do is to get to the manager and say, I have someone that wants to travel. And the manager was like, okay, so what the arrangement? He said, okay, he has brought a brother for him, and this is why I think he should go. And then the manager now gets back to me and says, but there's a staff that needs to travel. They know what to tell me, like they know the questions I would have asked, like who is stepping in, how long. So they have those answers already. So that's how it works.
Okay, so they have a system.
So they take their decisions and then finally gets back to me after they've gone through the stages.
Okay.
If you go through.
Oh boy, we have exceeded our time a little by about 5 minutes, but it's okay. We just have a wrap-up question. But if you want us to stop now, that's fine.
No, okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you so much. And the final question I have is just to find out if there is any other information you would like to share about strategies that organizations could use, maybe something we've not touched on that organizations could use to retain, or that you use, or maybe you plan to use in the future. Maybe you're looking at it, something that could help you retain your experienced and qualified staff.
Yes, what I would like to touch on is staff appreciation.
Okay.
Staff appreciation. You just I don't know, should I say publicly, amongst us, we always get to vote who is doing better, who has done this within a quarter.
Okay.
And it's more like a competition within the department. They don't own it like it's me. It's now logistics got it this month or this quarter.
Oh, okay.
Account section got it this
because there's somebody in that department who has
gotten something,
okay.
Even if it's one person
okay.
that is voted from your department. So they're like, oh, account got it this time. So that makes them to stay. Would I say to stay? That makes them happy, kind of.
Okay.
And it's a healthy competition. At the end of the day, that particular staff gets a kind of a gift. This kind of a tiny gift. And we talk about the person, and everybody appreciates the person. So I feel that makes them happy, or the person happy, and every other person wants to get something at the end of the quarter or yearly, depending on how we have done it. Aside what others get, you have your extra, and they appreciate it, and the department own it that this is theirs. So that's one thing I think also helps.
Okay, but is this something that you're already practicing?
Yeah. We were doing it quarterly before the COVID, but since the COVID, we've not been able to have quarterly meetings and prayer meetings.
Okay.
So we tend to resume again.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of shuffling and moving of people here and there, so we'll start up again.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. I'm grateful. Thank you for your time. Thank you. I think we've had some meaningful conversations. I will transcribe this and I would send it back to you so that you will just be sure that what we have discussed is what I captured before I turn in my assignments. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me too. I really appreciate it.
All right.